Master 1162 from DroppingJewels.com with another episode of Dropping Jewels. Today's jewel is so important I can't even sit down and bring you this jewel. Today's jewel is everything is not for everybody. I'm going to say it again. Everything is not for everybody. You need to teach this to your children while they're young. You need to embed it in yourself. Everything is not for everybody. You got to remember that when things happen, you don't have to share every bit of information of what happened with everybody else. Certain things aren't meant to be repeated or shared. And on the other end, you got to remember that some things you don't need to know. I know that's hard to accept. Now, this is not an excuse to hide information or not to share information that you should be sharing. But remember, everything is not for everybody. Especially like, some of the things I see people discussing or telling their children about. Children don't need to know about your relationships and some of the other things at certain ages. And then when they repeat what you say, you mad at the child. See? But you should have taught the child real early. Everything is not for everybody. See, then that way maybe they'll learn not to repeat things that they heard. In that same sense, you got to be careful who you give information to and who you get information from. And remember, everything is not for everybody. There used to be a time when if A and B was doing business and B and C was together, B didn't tell C what was going on with A. They might go in the same establishment and not acknowledge each other. You never know what the situation is. You might have a friend who you discuss whatever comic books with, but he may not want to know, he may not want a third person to know that he's dealing with comic books because he's a grown man. So everything is not for everybody. And more importantly, when we're talking about possessions, everything you see somebody else with, you don't have to have. Everything is not for everybody. Sometimes you don't even know the sacrifice or the work that somebody put into it, and sometimes you don't care, especially if you've seen that they got it in what you consider an easy way. Everything that everybody has doesn't mean that you should have it. Sometimes it's not your season. Sometimes it's not for you to have at this particular time. Everything is not for everybody. Everything that you see other people do don't mean you should do it, especially you young people. Think about what it is you want to accomplish in life and what it is you want to have and how long you expect to have it and what you expect to do to get it. Everything is not for everybody. So just because you see some people doing a certain thing and you think that's what you want to be or that's what you want to do, that's not always the case. You got to start learning to discern. Yeah, look that word up again. You got to start learning to discern what it is for you and what it is you're trying to do. But remember, don't go out there trying to be something and have something that is not your season or your reason to be or have yet. Everything is not for everybody. This has been Jewel Master 1162 with another episode of Dropping Jewels. Peace.